You're watching the She CEO podcast with Dr. Julie Ducharme, talking with female CEOs from all over the globe.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Ducharme, back for another episode of She CEO. Love this podcast. I get to interview women around the world in every type of profession you can think of and get to hear about everything they've done, from their tough parts to the best parts and everything that's going on in between. So I'm really excited to have today a dear friend with me, Dr. Karen Weaver. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How you going, Julie?
I'm doing so good. I'm doing even better that you're here with me. I just feel like we're soul sisters. You know, we WhatsApp each other on the silliest things and we leave each other silly messages. And it's like my highlight. I can just send you any message. I love it. Like, you got to have a soul sister like this, ladies. You got to have someone that you can just, send messages. Karen does not judge me and she gets me and all that stuff. So I'm so glad you're here because you're doing such amazing things. And I'm honored that I get to do them with you, which is really, really cool. Because you brought so much into my life since we have met. And so I'm so excited because you're on here with me. But I know your story, but a lot of our listeners may not. And so you didn't start out as this big publisher and writing all these books. You started out very different. And the reason I love your story and I want you to tell it is because I know there are some aspiring women out there probably in the space that you were in so many years ago, wondering like, what's there for me? Could I even do this? And so I'd love for you to share how that happened for you.
Absolutely. Well, it's like, where do I start? And you do know my story, Julie. And I just say I'm on a joyride. I am very blessed to be in the mindset of just wanting to embrace life, really falling into the power of story. And that, I only discovered how much I was passionate about story and about books. And, books and babies are my life. I'm a mum of 6. How blessed am I? And my dream life could be someone else's nightmare, but it's my dream life and I'm living it to its fullest. And I'm bringing everyone along for the ride as well. I love that I get to go into the essence of beautiful energies and frequencies, and it seems to draw the most amazing people along on the journey that I get to meet, like you and just so many amazing people. And we got to experience that in New York last year whenever all of these amazing people came together. But it's been a journey to that, I was 31 whenever I decided what I wanted to do when I grew up. I never knew my whole childhood at school and all of the things. I never knew what I wanted to do or to be. I was just curious and I wanted to experience new things. That was all that I just wanted to experience things. So I have had so many jobs and experiences in my life, all of which I always ended up the boss in. Every single time I always ended up as the manager or the supervisor or whatever. And all of those things. I was a young mom. I was a teenage mom at 19 years old. And then and so it was me and him for 10 years, and then got married and started having 5 more babies, emigrated to Australia, 35 weeks pregnant with my 3rd child. I waddled here literally. And I knew nobody, but I had this unbelievable knowing that it was exactly the right step I was supposed to be taking at that moment in my life. And to the outside world, it looked like the most insane thing to do because we had just built a house, we locked it up, hopped on an airplane with the 2 kids and emigrated to the other side of the world 5 weeks before I was due to give birth. So, even looking back now, but the knowing that I had was so powerful. And I hadn't really been through a spiritual awakening. I had been through a really tough time in life. I'd experienced PTSD. Luckily, I understood what it was because I had worked in mental health for 4 years, one of my many jobs. And so I understood it. Doesn't mean I liked it, but I understood it enough not to fear it and to understand that I had to go through the motions, do the healing. And I called it my cocoon period. And looking back now, I can understand it and see it and all of the things. But when I was in it, I had the tunnel vision. I would get shakes whenever I would talk about things. I was a very extroverted person that became very introverted super fast. My family were so worried about me. But I called it my cocoon period because when I woke up out of that, I was a butterfly. I
Mm,
had got my wings. I didn't care what other people thought. I was going to go and embrace life and embrace what the gifts and
mm,
the adventure that life can be, and just live it to its fullest. And I feel like I've lived many lifetimes because I've had so many
mm,
experiences, so many things that I have been blessed to experience, and also so many adversities. But because of my mindset and my foresight around
mm,
things and how the universe works, I'm able to keep steady and just
mm,
keep moving forward, understand that everything happens for us, not to
mm,
us, and can transition any negative into
mm.
a positive. I call it transmuting the energy from
Yeah.
a negative into a positive, because there's so much opportunity, even in the negatives, to discover things
Mm,
about ourselves. And so I have been on a quest of
mm,
self-discovery, and I'm a great believer that whenever we find out things that work for us, we are supposed to share that with others.
mm,
So as I have profound realizations and resonances around who I am and who I'm growing into, I have to share that with other people,
mm.
and I do that through books, and hence why I've written over 40 of my own books to
Oh my
date
gosh.
and been in 50 anthologies. 50
You
anthologies.
you
Each one
definitely
I've
beat
written.
me on that. You definitely beat me on that. And, it's very true because oftentimes when I'm talking about something that is negative, you are able to really shift that to a positive light, which I'm always amazed because knowing that you have 6 kids, I think to myself, she's always so happy. Like, I have 2 kids and I
My
definitely
kids
can get
wouldn't say that,
grumpy.
Julie.
I'm like, you're always able to find the positive angle, and I love
Uh,
that. I wish that as women, we could go back to our younger selves and say, "Listen, you don't have to have it all figured out by 18. It's okay.
mm,
Just go
yeah,
on the ride." Because there really is that push of like, well, by 18 you got to get to college and you got to have it figured out. And
yeah,
more and more today, as you know, with Lena Parrish She Talks, so many women are coming in their 40s and 50s and they're like, I'm starting life over. I'm starting a new
yeah,
career. I'm shifting. I've done something for 30 years that really isn't my passion. I did it because I needed to. And we're really seeing that change, and I just wish that we could go to all the young women and go,
mm,
"It's fine. Just you're gonna be fine. Just go do you." Because I think it's a tough thing to ask young kids at age 18 what they wanna do
mhm.
for the rest of their lives, especially when
Oh,
we're gonna be so different, in just 5 or 6 years from now. I think, like, when I went from 18 to 25 and the difference of, like, who I was as a as a person, and then
yeah.
you go to 30 and then you throw a kid in the mix and you're like, "Well, now I'm a totally different person."
Yeah,
So, I love that.
definitely.
Now, you have a fun story about, being able to get, I've gotta get her title right. So, is it Princess Fergie or is it I'm getting it wrong, aren't I? Because
No,
with the
you're
royal
okay.
family, but you've worked with can I just say Fergie? Can I say Fergie?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I worked with, Sarah Ferguson for we had a 22 book deal, and it was such a
Wow,
journey and such an and she, it's just been such a huge journey. And, 22 books, like that's
a
and
lot.
22 is my life navigation number as well. Like
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
"What?" Of course it's 22. We worked together really closely and just went through that for years since 2019, up
And they're
until
kids'
last year.
books,
So
right?
yeah, yeah, kids
Kids'
books
books?
and all yeah, mostly kids books. So
Mm,
like, and then you've got illustrations to do. Like the production of a kids book requires a lot of
yeah.
first investment, but also and then we went on tour around Australia in 2024. Like that was huge as well. So there's lots of things happened, and we just go on the journey because there's there's just so much opportunities, and things like that bring opportunities. Like we went to London Book Fair, all of the things like it's just it's you never know what's going to come into your life at any time. It's just
Well,
phenomenal.
and I love that story because you just wrote her. You just like, a lot of times we think like, "Oh, that
Yeah.
person's too big for me. They would never talk to me." And
Yes.
you just were
I
like, "Hey,
use
I'm
my
gonna
power
write
of
her."
knowing. Yeah, I use my power of knowing, Julie. I think that's where you're going with that one, is that it was just like, "Oh, there's that person. I remember my son reading her budgie books. I wonder would she like to do a book for Serenity Press? Okay, And then my thought train went, who's her agent? So I went and Googled her agent, and then I must have written the best email ever because I can't find it, but I think it was a submission form or something.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, I got a phone call, and you just never know. And that's the thing, you have to ask. You
Mm.
just ask,
Mhm.
especially whenever you have that light bulb moment or a resonant moment where something connects with you. Take action straight away. You have to do it straight away. Don't let it pass.
Mhm.
You have to action whatever that thing is. And I do that constantly, not
Mm.
just with that, but with all the time. I connect
Mm.
in with my power of knowing, and I go, is this aligned? Is this
Mm.
what aligned with where I'm going? If it's a yes, I take courage to take action and then
Mm.
I usually get yeses in those scenarios. It's
Mm.
amazing. Love it.
And you do. I mean, you bring in when I see the books coming out, I'm like, how is she getting this many books out? Like recently I saw like so many book releases and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I
so
know.
many, but
We
there's so much.
working on them.
Yeah. And
Mm,
there's just so much power. I mean, what I love about you. I love a lot of things about you, but in particular, what I love about the books is that they're very heart centered. They're very
mhm,
focused. And you know, my passion is getting stories out. And so I know that you have a book coming out called Heart Frequency
mhm.
that is already out. And Josh is going to put it up on the screen there as well.
There we go.
And do you want to tell us about this book that's just come out? A little
Yes.
summary.
Thank you for letting me share this because heart frequency changed my life. I've been doing this for a long time in the whole book world and being an entrepreneur, an accidental entrepreneur, by the way,
Yeah.
so that I could be very present at home with my family. And this book just means so much. I've teamed up with the beautiful Adria Peters, who is just like a genius, and
Mm,
she is like a quantum physicist. I adore her. We've been on a journey. She's done the science of story and all of
mm,
this, all of the things. So we came together to do heart frequency, and the amazing epic Dr. Joe
mm,
Vitale has endorsed
mm.
the book for us.
Yes.
And I am all about frequency and energy. And no
Mm,
matter what is happening in our life, there's always contrast things happen. Where there's a good thing, there's
mm,
always
mm,
and there could be a negative thing. So positive and negatives always but whenever you come into the center and
mm,
into that heart, see
mm,
your
mm,
heart is actually an amazing tool for you to go inwards. It takes courage to go there, to be raw, to be vulnerable, to go into the heart, but it is your life navigation
mm.
system. It will guide you. It works 100% in your favor. And
Yeah.
once you learn to get into that heart space, get to understand when it's signs for guiding
Mm,
you, like this book is about the science of it, so we go into the science of it all, and whenever you think of whenever you are conceived, there's that light that happens, and then you are a heartbeat,
yeah.
literally first before you're a person, and that
Mm,
frequency is life. And whenever you tap into that amazing resource, it's within us all. It
mm,
doesn't go anywhere. It's sitting there waiting
mm,
for you to rediscover it right now.
mhm,
And that frequency will bring anything you want into your life.
mm,
And it just I just came back to it. And even writing this book,
mm, mm,
when I was writing the book, it just was so profound at the time and just blew my mind. The things that come in, the peace I would feel, the just the energy around it.
mm,
And that's what I want everyone, me and Adria want everyone to be able to access their heart frequency. So we're setting up a group, we're going to guide people, all of the things, and we're
mm.
going on tour with it to share heart frequency with the world, because we know firsthand how it changes your life whenever you
Yeah.
can just go there. Something really bad's happening in your life, go to heart frequency. It will guide you through that storm.
Mm,
If you want something really good, go into heart frequency. It will guide you towards it happening because
mm.
it works 100% for you all of the
Yeah,
time.
I love that. Well,
Mm.
we put it up on the screen, but for those of you listening, because oftentimes, Karen, I get these things like, I'm shopping right now and I couldn't get all the links. Like, don't worry, we're going to put the links in the post so you can get it. And you guys can always contact me if you can't are trying to get to Karen. But this is powerful. And I'm really big on everyone buying each other's books because I remember
Yes.
when I wrote my first non-academic book. Now, my academic books were boring. I didn't expect anyone to buy those because they were on research and stuff. So those were like books if you needed something good to fall asleep to. But when I wrote my first book and I put so much effort into it, and I was like, oh, I know so many people, everyone's going to buy it. And they weren't. They all wanted me to give them a free copy. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
"No, you need to buy it." And so the reason I share that is that you guys can all purchase a book. I mean, and I'm big on this. So I'm constantly telling women like, don't ask for free stuff. Go purchase a book, whether it's $1 on Kindle. So I always encourage you to do this. And I've read several of Karen's books and they're fantastic. So definitely get this one. I need to order this one too. So I love this. Well, talking about heart frequency, which I think this just transitions into the next thing, is that you have a series called Hear Us Roar, which really is about the story of people and really what's in their heart as well. And I'd love for you to tell us about the Hear Us Roar series.
Ugh. Here Ashore was a journey itself. I was helping a lot of business owners do anthologies to get money into their businesses, to get cash flow in, but also because they're such leaders and creating this opportunity for other people to stand alongside them. And I know the power and have experienced and seen firsthand the power of collaborative books and the experience that you create around it. It's not just about getting a story, putting people in a book, launching it, and that's it. No, it's a family that everyone in that book becomes connected in this book and this story, and you get to be omnipresent in. So I was helping a lot of people do anthologies, hence why I'm in so many anthologies. And it just became a thing. And I was having huge I would tap into the theme of a book and write to that theme, just 2,500 words. And it became something that just, I was able to share messages and things like that with the world through these stories and reach people that I ordinarily wouldn't be able to reach. So Here is Roar. I sometimes because I'm in publishing and because I'm an author, like I write every day. And I'm publishing every day, so I live in this world. So, and then I seen this cover with a lion on it. I'm going to see if I have it behind me. Oh, there we go. It's at the top. This cover, okay. And whenever I seen it, it resonated with me. Something within me just went, oh. So I got it and I thought, oh, I'll keep that. That would be good for an author and, all of this kind of thing, whatever. So it wasn't called Here's Roar on the book, but it was in my inbox. I had bought it and it was in my inbox and it was there for about 18 months or 2 years. And then all of a sudden, this cover called to me from my inbox and I was like, oh, I must look and see where that is. And so I went and looked, and then Here's Roar was born. So Powerful Stories of Courage and Perseverance. That was book one. So I put it out there, and I had been through a real tough time in my business, and I felt like I let some of my authors down. So this was going to be something that would allow them to share and promote their books and just to give back to some of my authors who I felt, you know what I mean? So it was kind of that kind of a project. Because my daughter had been very sick and all of the stuff. And so it was one of those giving back projects. So I went and produced this book, and then it was filled up within 3 weeks. It was filled with 34 stories.
Wow.
Straight away. And I'd reached out to some really, there's some really big authors in here. I'd reached out to some really epic people, and they said yes to being part of the project. And so to stand in this book, it was so powerful. We launched it at the 2023 Castle event in Ireland and all of the stuff. So Here is Roar, the Lion edition, is really special. But whenever I launched that, it wouldn't stop calling me. It's not one book, it's a series. And then within a week, we had 8 covers, all with different themes, all with different cats on the front. Like there's the Lioness's book 2. It is 34 people in it as well, all amazing women and one man as well. And then, the tiger, Siberian tiger, in the process of launching 3. So we've got 2 left in the series. One is half filled and then the other one is left. So, but Here's Roar became this huge project that then we started filming everyone and interviewing them. So we've got the amazing trailer that Josh has done, and he's helped me pull together the docu-films. And then we launched that trailer in New York last year, whenever we were there in November in the Robin Williams Theatre. So then we're now doing docu-films. And then we started doing stages. So at our Castle event every year, we have a Here's Roar stage. In New York, we have a Here's Roar stage. Here's Roar just took on a life of its own, and I am just this person that shows up to facilitate it. So whenever I'm in Hero's Roar energy, we talk about heart frequency.
Yeah,
Hero's Roar energy is heart frequency for me. I'm just
yeah.
so blessed it came through me.
And how many authors have you said? You said 200 and something?
But 250 at least. I haven't done a count
Gosh,
recently, in the project, and
yeah.
that's not even, because we invite, influential people into the project to give visibility to other people in the books and stuff, so it's a huge project. I've invested hugely in it,
Mm,
but it's a legacy work.
mhm.
Whenever something's a legacy work, like I know
Yeah.
when people show up and share a story in Heroes Roar, it brings them somewhere that
Mm,
they may not be 100% comfortable with, but they are
mhm.
called to write that story. They tap into
Yeah.
the essence. And so I actually nurture people through the process because it sometimes sets people on a
Mhm,
journey of self-discovery, and they've shown up and they've roared,
mhm.
like they've found the courage within themselves, and it's just such a special project. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, and I got a chance to be part of that, and your castle event was just magical. I will always remember sitting in a big, giant, bubbly bathtub in a castle room, which we'll put the links for that too. There is still a few spaces for your
Yes.
castle event left.
Yeah, come join us
Um,
in October.
Yes, yes, it's just magical. I was waiting for, like, little fairies to pop out, like, seriously, that's how magical it was, the
Mhm.
castle, and it's Belle Isle, right? Belle Isle?
The
Oh,
Lion,
Josh is getting it
yes.
up on the screen here, and it actually really
Amazing.
looks like the picture that you see right there, it's just that
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous,
It's beautiful.
and that was so much fun, and I loved it, and you put it on every year, so you
Mm.
guys can definitely, reach out to us, we'll connect you with Karen directly, and there's a great video on there too, that you
Josh
can
did
see.
that. It was
So,
amazing, isn't it?
yeah,
He's so
yeah.
good, Julie.
So, well, I also don't wanna forget, you mentioned you're a mom of 6, and you recently
Mhm.
were in a documentary called Moms Rising, and so I'd love to talk about how that came about. There's several women in this, and we
Yes.
got to see it in New York, which was so great, like, not a dry eye in the room. It was really powerful, and what was behind the Mom Rising, and why did you do it?
So, it was just another one of those moments. I had watched the Think and Grow Rich film that
Mm,
Scott Servain, who's the director of this movie, had produced, and I had just discovered Think and Grow Rich. I think it was around 2022, and I'd
mhm,
read it and started. And it's all about the richness of life. Yes,
mhm,
financial richness, but richness of life, to have this beautiful balance. There's no point in having all this money if you're not going to, be have a feel good about life and who you are and all of the things. So, and that's kind of, I treasure all of that stuff. So, Scott was then, there happened to be an email come in. I remember it was Christmas week, like
mhm,
what, and I was hanging out. It was a Saturday morning, and in those days, some of my kids were younger, and we would just veg out on a Saturday, watch movies. I think it was
mhm.
Christmas in Australia is really hot, like it's 40 degrees. You ain't, it's that. So we're having a pajama day with the aircon on, watching a movie, and I happened to see this. It just drew my attention to it, and I usually don't look into these things, but it was just, I just felt it. So I clicked the link, and it said, "Are you a mom?" Like, being a mom and being in business means so much to me, Julie.
Mhm, mhm,
Because it's just my life. I love
mhm,
it. I'm just so blessed that I get to do both and embrace both
mhm,
fully. And I've had the experiences that I've had, and
mhm,
can show, because I'm a great believer that, my kids don't listen to me all the time, but they see what I do and
mhm.
learn from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really believe in that. And they'll know that anything's possible if you want it enough, but you're gonna
Mhm.
work for it,
Yeah. Yes.
And so there's all of that. But so this movie really called for me because it was born out of the Thomas Edison scene where
Mm,
Thomas Edison's mother
yeah.
gets sent home with a note from school saying that he's more or less dumb and he can't be at school, they can't teach him. And
Mm,
she read the note to him, but changed all of the words, said he was so smart, he was a genius, and they weren't able to
mhm,
teach him, that she had to teach him herself. And that
mhm,
she did. She taught him,
mm.
she believed in him, she made him believe in himself. And look at what Thomas Edison, like, we wouldn't be,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's amazing, and then whenever he found the note later on, whenever she had passed away and he had achieved all of his things, he found the note whenever his mother passed away, and it was this letter, and he read it, and he had the realization that it was his mother's belief in him that
Mm,
instilled the belief in
mm,
him, and what others were observing, just
mm,
on the surface, was someone who
mm,
was stupid, when he's actually a genius. They just didn't
mm.
understand him. And I see that
Yeah.
in our world now,
Mm,
with the whole ADHD thing. Like, so many people that have are
mm,
geniuses, because
mhm,
whenever they focus on their genius zone, they're so
mm.
successful. But quite often, people focus on what they're not,
Yeah.
in those types of things, especially in school environments,
Mm,
what they're not able to do because they're not ticking the
yeah.
boxes. Well, maybe that's not a box they need to tick in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for me, I was not a good at school, and I talked. Scott came and filmed me at the castle in I think it was 2023 castle, because I was like, I have a lot of kids. I'm going to be in a castle in Ireland in June. So if you want to film me, you're going to have to come there, because, I'm not traveling to the US or whatever, because, this is where I'm going to be. He says, you know how to talk to a director, because, filming in a castle kind of piques
Yeah.
interest. So he came and he filmed me there. And so the movie, I think it was 2021 actually. And then the movie then was, obviously came out then,
Mhm.
last year in New York, and we done the red carpet kind of premiere thing, and it was so good, and we are so blessed to have you guys there. But he's such a visionary,
Mm.
he was such a
Yeah.
visionary in what he produced, and I'm so proud of that movie. We've got Marianne Williamson in it as
Mm,
well,
mm,
and there's all of the women I stand alongside in that movie are just phenomenal, and
mm.
it's just the
Yeah.
power of story in motion. It is,
Yeah.
and it's free for everyone to watch at
Yes.
mumsrising.film.
Yes. And such an important point you made about Thomas Edison, right? Is like
Mhm.
story after story, you hear about the moms who were in the background, cheering
Mm,
them on, helping them go, pushing them because they saw the real potential, right? And I just think, what would the world be like if we didn't have moms? How important our job is. I think people forget a lot of times that moms it's a job, this and it's a serious job. I take my job as a mom really serious, that it's an important part of my life to help move my kids towards success, and when they can't see it, we need to see it. And that's such a powerful theme in this movie. I always talk about Amelia Earhart and how her mom
yeah.
just encouraged her to kind of just chase the wildness of her dreams. And I usually
Mhm,
always say, just think if she didn't encourage her to go
mhm.
after that, right? So there's
Oh,
such an
beautiful.
impact on this. And that's what I love about this movie. Like I said, it was not a dry eye in the room. As it was just so
Mm-mm-mm.
powerful. It was so powerful, and the women and the stories and their children, and so, yes, definitely check this out. You can still watch it for free, and you can even donate. So I always say, if you love it, donate. Donate $5.
Yeah.
It helps, right? Because this is what the world needs right now. The world needs
Mhm.
healing, and the world needs positivity, and the world needs stories like this of moms and encouraging and succeeding and their children succeeding, and so this is so powerful. And I'm really excited for you guys that this came out because there's not a lot of movies that focus on moms. I have to
No.
say that. Like, when you think
It's
about it.
the world needs the world needs love right now, and there's nothing more powerful than a mother's love. So
Yes.
the world needs nurturing, and that's why we need
Mm,
to be that for each other,
yeah.
whether we birthed a child or whatever, we need the world needs that. We need to
Mhm,
have that ripple effect, and that's why we're saying, donate or just share it with somebody
mhm,
else,
mhm.
or have a watch party,
Yeah.
because something shifts within you whenever you watch this movie.
Mhm.
It ignites
Yeah.
something within you. It active and it just you won't be the same again. It's
Yeah.
so profound, and you don't
Yeah.
know until you watch it. So it's definitely worth the investment of time
Mhm.
to watch it and know what it shifts within you, because your life won't be the same after that moment.
Yeah.
It'll ignite something within you. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so powerful. I'm so glad you guys did that because, like I said, there's a lot of movies out there, but not a lot that focus on this, mothers and their love. And it is true, you don't have to be someone's child to receive a mother's love. There's so
Yeah,
much power in that. I see that all the time in our Lead and Power She Talks group, just the power of the love that comes from moms who can just see it
yeah.
when someone needs it. I love that. Well, I know we're getting towards the end of the podcast, and so I wanted to make sure that we highlighted a few things. So we have the castle event coming up in October, with there's still a few spots in there, and so I'm really like I said, it's just so I know you've done it forever. For me, it was just like magical. My kids, it was magical. But my daughter, even I don't know if you remember, she brought like a fairy dress,
Yes,
and she dressed up
yes.
like a fairy. Josh took pictures. They were so good. She's gonna like use them as her senior pictures. Like they're
Oh, I
so
love it.
adorable. And then we
Yes.
also have the New York event, which is of course a whole different feel,
Mhm.
right? It's New York, it's iconic Manhattan, but that was such a powerful event. To one that day that you did all the Heroes Roar speakers, I mean, just
Yeah.
women from all over the world. It was so powerful. And then of course we're working this year with the Stevie Awards, and I think Fleur Madden, and then of course
Yeah.
we're going to do our She Talks event on November 14th, which that is going to be, Oscars meets Met Gala. So it just means that
Mhm.
this is a great excuse to dress up in
And
some
get the sequence out.
yes, get the sequins out, get your epic outfit out. How often do we get to do that?
Oh, I love
Um,
it.
so it's gonna be a really, really fun event. And I do want to mention as well too, I'm hoping I'm gonna get you to this, Karen, is our 5,000 Women Stadium event. That is
Yes.
not on our website yet, but it's gonna be there soon. And that's gonna be March 2027, which I know
Yes.
sounds far out, but when you're planning a stadium event, it's not. And
It's my
so
50th birthday month, Julie. Is
well, that is a perfect party. So
Party, party.
we have that happening, and we will when this goes out. If you're looking for all these links, we'll make sure all these links are in here. But as many of you know, you
Mhm.
can hit my socials, and I will connect you with Karen for that. If you have a book that you're thinking I need, as I think you're the one that says, Karen, everyone has a book in them, right? Like,
Everyone has, and when it calls, you gotta answer it or it's gonna wake you up at 3 a.m.
and I
You
just want to tell you,
know? That's
like, I had a book that I sat on for 3 years. Like, I
Yeah.
sat on it for 3 years until something happened with a friend of mine that I was like, "Why did I sit on this for so long?"
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about that, Karen is the place that you need to go. She just is so great at this, and she's in our new anthology, the She Talks anthology, the first book that came out, which is coming out, and we're gonna be highlighting that in New York as well, doing book
Yes, we'll be
signings.
celebrating it. It's all
Yeah,
about celebrating story, isn't it? And
yeah,
and you've got to remember the narrative that you are telling yourself in your head because that's what leads you.
mhm,
So, if you're gonna do anything for yourself today,
mm,
just question what you're telling yourself. Please let it be positive, because
mm,
if you're having a positive conversation with yourself, you're going to see positive results in your
mhm,
life straight in front of you. And in this you can change from this present moment, because the past is the past, you can't change that, but you can
mm,
change in the present moment what
mm,
conversation you have with yourself. And then I can guarantee you're going to see different results in your
yeah.
tomorrow and your future.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Grateful. Find those 5 things to be grateful for every day. You only live once. Josh and I have been saying this all week long about certain things. We're like, should we do that? You only live once. Why not? So,
Yes, go for
like,
it.
I think to embrace it. Well, thank you so much for being on the show for us. Ladies, for those of you listening, you're going to see amazing stuff coming from Karen and all the million things she does. So make sure that you check out everything we're doing. And now that I know it's going to be your 50th birthday in March,
Mhm.
we might just have to like make the stadium event / your birthday party.
No,
You
no,
know,
no.
if you're
I was
closest
saying
with
because it's such a
5,000 friends.
milestone I'm working towards, because I'm training for a marathon. It's so out of my comfort zone. I'm not even at running space pace yet, so I'm on such a journey, and it's March 2027 is a goal post.
It's gonna be it. It's gonna be it. So
I'm
I
gonna be
love
in your WhatsApp going, "Julie, give me some motivation because 'cause you're such an athlete." Like, "Give me some
I'm gonna
motivation.
gonna have flags. I'm gonna get on a little scooter and ride beside
Get me
you.
over the line."
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. As I always say, live, love, laugh, and always be your authentic self.
Thanks for watching the She CEO podcast. Don't forget to smash that bell icon and don't forget to like and subscribe.